I am so super excited today. I get to interview Mr. Ralph Payne. He is one of my favorite real estate agents to work with, and I really just wanted to get on here and kind of dive into why I love his ethics. I love what he stands for. I love the things that he thinks is most important to people, and I just wanted to get on here and kind of show people Ralph's heart for helping people and how he ties everything together because it's just pretty brilliant. And so, my first question um, to Mr. Ralph is you're known for helping families find their dream homes and getting deals done that others can't. And so, what keeps you so passionate about your work?
Well, for one, the reason why I'm so passionate is because I know that every single person, as in the human race, will always need a place to sleep at night, whether if it's renting a place they need to sleep or buying a place that they need to sleep. And what I've learned is that, it basically takes the same amount of time or the same amount of requirements to rent a place than it does to buy a place. I think the average person that doesn't even know how to be educated to purchase a home or understanding the generational wealth of how homes give equity. And then also, they're either just scared because they're just the level of fear of taking on a responsibility when you still have to pay monthly rent to someone versus paying it to a mortgage where you can be paying for equity for yourself. So it makes me passionate about really helping people to be able to sleep better at night.
I love that. And so I was thinking about this earlier because I knew we were doing this interview today, and I was thinking, man, okay, Ralph has done this and he's done that. So you've done all sorts of things. Like you have been in the car space and you landed in the insurance space and you actually landed in the credit repair space for a minute. And so I love what you said about everybody needs a place to sleep because like I know your story a little bit and I know there was a time whenever you didn't have a place to sleep. And so is that why you feel like you landed in this real estate thing? Like what brought you here rather than doing all the other things? Because everything you do is sells and it makes you money, but for you like why do you want to help people?
Well, in the same space of where I was when I first got into sales of selling cars, um, I didn't know how to buy a car. I didn't understand it how you can buy a car.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw people buying cars, and I didn't never knew how to buy a car. Like you said, I mean, I slept outside for about about a couple of weeks before I went to the military. I went to the Navy. I was basically did 4 years in the military. I was taught how to work on aviation, electronics, and I had a very structured life for about 4 years, building a family with wife and kids. So from there. Um, I decided to try to reach out to doing something that was a little bit more advantageous for me as far as, you know, selling cars because first of all, I love talking to people. I can't stop talking to people. Every stranger I meet, I want to talk to. So I figured what's the best way to talk to strangers is go sell cars. So while I was there, I didn't know how to buy a car myself, and I made mistakes in trying to buy a car before. So I said, I'll go and sell cars so I can understand more how to help people and also really learn more myself on how to sell cars. So I was really teaching myself that way. Pivoting after about 15 years in the car business, I got into insurance. And the reason why I got into insurance, I had an opportunity to start a brokerage with Farmers Insurance. And I started doing insurance because I wanted to learn more about auto insurance, home insurance that most people didn't know. I didn't even know flood insurance actually existed until I bought flood insurance myself. And I just started noticing there's a lot of things in the insurance business that people, just pass by, whether if it's roadside assistance that people don't get, whether if they don't get a rental and they get into an accident, now they don't have a car to drive. there's just different things. And then also life insurance, where
Mm.
another generational wealth opportunity that people basically is still under unserved and unserved, not served enough for people to understand life insurance in multiple ways, whether that's term or whole life insurance. So those things has really helped me to see that how I can secure families, whether it's with transportation, whether it's with insurance, and now helping people to get into homes to secure their future as well. So I just kind of feel like I've leveled into different areas in my life to where I can help people.
Gotcha. And so do you feel like that's what sets you apart in the market because you have so much experience on this side? So whenever you get a buyer coming to you, like you know all the things. So it's like you can walk them through how this all happens, how this all works, how you can connect them to the resources that they need because you've been there. Like you dove in because you're like, I need to understand this myself. Yay, I get to learn it for me and my family, so I might as well share the love, share the wealth of the knowledge, right?
Absolutely. Let me tell you, my mother never gave me excuses. Okay. And she never allowed me to have excuses when it comes to figuring it out and making things happen. When I turned 18 years old, my mom gave me three choices. Okay. And that was either you're going to college, you're going to the military, or you're going to go get a job. Either way, you're 18, you're a man. So at that point, there was no excuse. I had to become a man. And so as I moved forward in life, I had to start figuring things out. And every time I called my mom with an excuse, she told me, go figure it out. Figure out those excuses, go figure
Great
it out.
mama.
Never gave me a choice. So now I find myself helping people. And just as when I was selling them a car, it got to the point where, people would tell me, well, I don't have enough money down. Well, let's see if we can get it with no money down. Well, I can't afford the payment. Well, let's figure out a car that you can afford a payment with. My credit score is not that great. Perfect. Let's find a cosigner. And the same thing with insurance. We could shop around for insurance, and they would give me reasons of why they didn't want to have certain coverages, and I said, well, these are the reason why the coverages. So there's always ways that we can help people to understand where people are saying, hey, listen, I'm renting a house right now and I'm thinking about buying a house, but I don't know the steps, or my credit score is too low.
Mm.
There's tons of people out there that don't even know technically how credit repair works. They don't even know how their own credit works, to be honest with you. And so credit is one of the most undisclosed things that people have, and we're literally living off of credit and have no clue on how it actually works and how it affects us. We're just running our lives every single day, just paying electric bills, gas bills, and whether if it's a credit card bill, and then people don't really know how it either helps them or hurts them. So when they want to buy a car or buy a house or even buy insurance, it's affecting them. So credit repair is literally the point of being able to justify the best rates or the best premiums or the best insurance, the best cost to be able to purchase anything.
So let me ask you this. I'm so glad you brought that up because that's really where I was headed next in this. And so you read my brain. And so have you ever heard that credit repair doesn't work?
Absolutely. I hear that all the time from lenders.
And so why do you think they say that? Like if you hear that all the time from lenders, but I've been doing this since 2007, something has to be working or I wouldn't be able to sleep at night or people would be like bashing me online, but I don't get bashed for a reason. So why do you think they say that? What are some
Well,
of
the
the stuff
reason
you hear from lenders?
I can tell you that a lot of people think that credit repair doesn't work because number one, a lack of time that they want to put into getting it done. Number one, the client doesn't want to put the time in to actually doing the work or the research.
Mm.
They just want it to be fixed overnight. Okay. It's kind of like buying a cup of coffee. They just want to buy it. They don't want to deal with it. Right. They don't want to make it. They don't want to, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to do any of that. So most of the time when people say that it doesn't work, it's because they don't understand, they're uneducated, or they just don't know anything about it, right? Most of the time, a lender will tell me that credit repair doesn't work because they want to make the deal happen faster instead of helping the client to be educated of why they're in this position, or giving them the rights of knowing, hey, you can dispute things.
Hmm.
Because obviously we have a court system and we're all innocent until proven guilty. But
Hmm.
unfortunately, most of the time they're guilty until proven innocent. So
Hmm.
even though you have the things on your credit, they feel like that you're guilty because it's on your credit, and you're guilty until proven innocent versus, you could be innocent. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? There's a
Sure.
lot of people that are really innocent, or they didn't know that these things are either too far behind. I mean, because understanding the credit repair situation, they don't know that, the structure of how bankruptcies are and things like that. But when you think about someone with credit repair, they have the opportunity to dispute something, or that account has been like paid off already by a you know, credit
Yeah, they've paid it
company.
off and
They
nothing
paid
ever
it
got
off.
updated.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's say a company buys that credit, and
Hmm.
now they've been sold that credit. So they buy that credit from you. They're not the originators for that credit. So, you know, Dillard sold it to, the GM company, or the Mark Group that's calling you, asking you to collect this bill. So they're bill collectors versus it's on your credit. So
Sure.
they've sold that credit to someone else. So basically, dealers have been paid off already from that debt, and
Mhm.
now this company is trying to collect the debt that they purchased. So
Mhm.
it's a business, and now they're adding fees to that. So
Mhm.
rightfully, is it yours or is it someone else's now? Because if they bought that credit and they added fees to it, is it their fees or is it your fees? So, it's a lot of different variables there, but I just think that people just don't understand, and they think that they want the quick fix other than, you
Have
know,
you seen credit repair work?
absolutely. I
So
could
let
tell
me
you
ask you this then, because
specifically.
I know you were working with another credit repair company in the past. So why did you choose to start working directly like with me?
Well, I could tell you the prior services that I worked with before, um, they were more interested in you giving people the information to sign up for the link, and not really having any hands-on um, information about how to how to really help work that credit repair process. So
Mm,
basically, you're kind of like calling a 1-800 number and doing it kind of online yourself.
mm,
You're doing the work yourself, but you're really not talking to anyone that can actually give you advice on what step by step that's happening, or how this is going to help you in the future. So versus working with you, Becky, you're way more passionate about working with people, way more passionate about educating them in this program, and then also helping them not to be in this position ever again. So you're
mm,
not just a one-sider that's just a one up, I'm going to help you and you're done. You're generally creating a relationship with people, and it's not a 1-800 number. It's not a um, just a one-time fix so they can go buy a car. We're trying to change their lifestyle, not just their credit repair. And so
sure.
start trying to change that for them. We're creating more opportunities for them never to be in this position again. So if you don't level up to understanding what you're doing, then you're just going to, the definition of insanity
Mm,
is basically doing the same thing over and over and accepting different results, and
mm.
you're not going to get different results if you don't actually dive in, understand the education of what's happening. So I believe that you're just way more passionate about anyone else out here doing this, and you really care about your clients, and you're really trying to educate them.
I I really am. I really am. I really want people to understand it. And so that's why I'm on all the socials, right? So that I can push out the bits and pieces of information that people need, tips and stuff like that. I literally have a book that I have. It's my little book of big ideas. And whenever somebody comes to me and they're like, they describe some situation, I'm like, oh, this is how you address that. But I always forget all that stuff because I've spent the last 2 decades learning this stuff. And so I write it down so that I can make a video about it.
Right.
It's just like little aha moments. But how does having someone you trust to work with your credit challenge clients impact your business? How does that help your business? Why does it even matter? Like, why don't you just go on to the next person?
Well, one of the reasons why is because let's say if I'm helping someone to get to the end, their end goal, which we want to call it the buyer's timeline, right? That could
Mhm.
be from 6 months to a year, right? So let's say you're taking someone from a buyer's timeline and they're willing to go through the process. They're obviously renting, a lease or something like that for a year. Why not pour into their buyer's timeline for the next year, right? Or if it's someone that wants to sell their house or and buy another house and maybe their situation is not aligned, then they have to work on that, whether if it's a year or whether if it's 2 years. So really diving into your why and what you're trying to do. The easy fix is just not going to happen. You're going to have to uncover some of those things to be able to accomplish more things. So it's just um, it's a process for me to help clients and obviously create a domino effect of residual clients for myself as well. But
Sure.
it's mainly more about getting the word out to deserving people. And once the word is out to more deserving people, I can be somewhat of someone that's known to I guess you would say solve problems.
Mm.
So
So
I'm a
basically,
problem solver. Yes,
yeah, right? You're like, next, there's no excuses, is what you're saying. Just
that's
like
right.
your mama wouldn't let you have one, so you don't
No,
let other people.
that's
You
right.
show people the way. And so
That's
I
right.
love that. And so you're not just helping clients, but you're actually building a stronger community by giving people a real path to home ownership. And
That's
so
right.
how does that feel?
It's very invigorating whenever you think to yourself, you've helped someone go from 0 to 100 or A to Z when it comes to purchasing a home. I literally helped this year alone 5 individuals that actually called me and was looking for a rental, only looking for a rental.
Mm,
And I was able to help them to get into a home. So it just made me feel like, I accomplished someone else's dreams that they would have never been able to think about unless they ran into the right individual. So helping people with the credit repair process is helping them to believe in that they can have change and they've made mistakes in the past. We all have. But with that, it's not over. You
mm.
can continue and you can change your life. And I'm super thankful that Becky's available for these people because unfortunately, the work that she puts in and you put in for these individuals, there's just not there's not enough people out there that really care this much. They really just help people. They really just give them the tools and expect them to do it themselves. They're not
Right.
really interested in educating them and building long-term relationships with them. So, those relationships do come back to people that may need situations in the past. I mean, situations in the future, whether if it's they had a divorce in the past or maybe had a
Mm.
repossession in the past or maybe had a foreclosure in the past. Their life is not up. So it's time for them to either level up and find out how they can pick themselves up, and then we can help them to get them on the path of their next resources.
I love that. This has been so much fun. This is my favorite thing that I've done in a while. So this interview is going to be seen by homeowners, buyers, and other professionals. So what do you want people to know about your commitment to your clients?
I'm here for you all the way. Um, there's no reason for you to give up on yourself whenever you're right there at the starting line or you're really close right there in the middle. So I'm here for you all the way. If you need a realtor or you need an advisor or a counselor coach to push you, or maybe even just, educate you or, hold your hand through the process, making sure that, you're getting the best deal and that that we're going to be able to protect you during this process and make sure that you're protected and that you're educated through this process, that you know how this process is going to go, because this is not going to be your first house. It could be your first of 10 houses. So
Mm,
we want to help not only generational wealth, but we want to help people to become, you know, I mean, everyone's going to be an investor. When you're buying a house, you're investing in home ownership. So you're actually an investor as well.
mm,
So, you know, some of the people that may just want to be a homeowner, some people may want to be a landlord. You know, we
mm.
have several different programs for you, but I'm here for you. And let me know if I can be of assistance, if I can give you advice or, you know, counsel you in ways where, you know, I can motivate you to move towards the finish line.
Yay. And so if someone's watching this and needs a realtor who truly fights for you, how does somebody get a hold of Mr. Ralph?
That's right. Give me a
Best way to
call.
reach you.
Yes, you can call me at 405-209-3866. You can also look me up on Facebook, Insta. It's under Ralph B. Payne.
Hmm.
That's Ralph Victor Payne, and or under Agent Payne, um, Ralph V. Payne Realtor.
Hmm.
So you can contact me by, you know, like I said, in several different Ralph under you know, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can also check out my website, which is ralphpayne.exprealty.com. You
Okay.
can follow up with ralphpayne.exprealty.com, and you can view all of my local listings as well,
Yay.
and follow up with me.
Perfect. I love it. And last but not least, for other professionals watching who want to partner with you or us, what would you tell them?
I would say get started. Inbox me, call me, text me, email me, Ralph V. Payne Realtor at gmail.com. Let's connect, let's collaborate, let's get educated. If there's anything you'd like to know more about, like either how I'm doing it, I'm not afraid to share my secrets with you. We can partner up together with the same brokerage, outside of the same brokerages. We can partner up and how this is working for me and how it can definitely work for you. Um,
Yay.
Dive into the systems that you have, take advantage of what Becky has to offer for the last 20 years of her experience, and, you know, pick her brain, pull the information out, and just give her a ton of customers to help you with so you can be not only successful, but you can successfully help others as well.
All right. Well, I am so excited that we did this, Mr. Ralph. Thank you for joining me and taking some time out to answer questions and really show people what you're passionate about and why we make such a good team.
Right. And I would also say mortgage lenders, insurance agents, realtors, new home builders, car salesmen, all of you people need Becky's service. So if you're all involved and you're trying to get, you know, your clients to the finish line, it's going to be car salesmen, whether if it's car salesmen, whether if it's real estate agents, whether if it's lenders, whether if it's insurance agents, you all need this service. So
Yay. Well, thank you, Mr. Ralph. I
contact,
appreciate you. Yep.
you're welcome.
I think I'm hitting the stop button. Oh.